Hey guys, Julian here, and today I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done for you guys in a while, which is I'm going to be making a hard melodic rave techno track from scratch. Now to do this, I'm going to be using my new Ultimate Hard Melodic Rave Techno Producer Bundle. The link is right at the top of the description. This is a new bundle I just dropped, which you can see it right here. It has everything you need to make this style of techno. So you can see that we've got like claps and snares, drum loops, effects, hard kicks, some cymbals, some melodic constructions, MIDI files, and even some of those cool rave loops like you guys see me use that are very important for this style. These are all brand new samples that I've just made for this pack, and I'll play you guys some demos really quick. These are the demo tracks as well, where you actually get the full project file for these as well. So you get 3 full track project files included in the bundle. So yeah, link to this is at the top of the description. It's just $30, but you get this really solid collection of samples that, in my opinion, really should be worth closer to like $100. But I put all this into just a simple pack for you guys. So if you're trying to get started, or you need some new inspiration, or you just want to, like I said, kind of draw from a new well of ideas, link is right in the top of the description. This really helps support me. Plus, again, you get this awesome collection that you can get started right away making these tracks, and it's going to sound super professional. You have all the samples you need in one place, so you can just get started making tracks. So yeah, link to those at the top of the description. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Every sale really helps keep me going, and let's dive in. So, I'm going to use this pack, and we are going to make a track. And I'm going to show you guys how I would go about making a track like this from scratch, because it's been a while since I did one of these videos. So the first thing that we're going to start with, as always, is going to be a kick. So, let's go to 140 BPM, pretty standard for this style. And I'll start with one of the kicks from here. I like that one a lot. And pro tip, if you're using like a kick loop like this that has the bass in it, set it to repitch mode. Because on complex, or really any of these, it's playing with the audio a little bit and kind of warping it. If you set it on repitch, it's the same exact thing as if you just unwarped it and just used the pitch to get it in time. And it's going to be a lot smoother with drums like this. It's not going to sound so like chunky. And yeah, and then, so once you have your kick and your bass sounding pretty good, what we can actually do here is kind of turn this into, like, kind of make our own kick loop out of this. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to take a little piece of the kick, like just that part. And then we're going to grab another one, like I like that, and take just one kick from there, and then shape it so it gets out of the way of the other kick. And this is how you can take loops and make your own kick loops now. And yeah, there we go. Now we have like a whole new kick made out of these. And you don't need like a whole lot of processing. You know, if you start with solid samples like this, you're not going to have to go and add a whole bunch of drum buffs on top of this. It's just 2 nice audio sources playing side by side. We'll turn that down a little bit too. And one tip for this is don't shorten your kick too much. And also don't fade in the bass too much. Sometimes I see people doing kind of like this. And like, so here is what this sounds like. And this is what it should sound like. So yeah, I think a lot of times people think like you want to get this all out of the way there, but really all you're doing is just kind of making this area really quiet. So instead, just keep them like really tight like that, but still like let through like enough of the kick and enough of the bass to where you can actually hear it. So now we have like a nice kick and bass combo. From here, I usually move up to a hi-hat. Like, let's use that one. And I think a lot of people think that, once you have the kick and the bass, you just go and you get the rave loop, the like, this kind of stuff. And then you have the track. But actually, you really need to start with your foundation first. Like, you need to have a good kick and bass. Then we're going to have a good hi-hat on top of that. And then we'd also move up and get like a nice clap snare. Let's use that one. Maybe pitch the hi-hat down a little. But yeah, and now we have this stuff set up. So we have a foundation for the track. And I think this is really key. A lot of people think that you're going to want to go and you start with the kick and then maybe you get the rave loop and then we're going to start getting melodic. But actually, like, just starting with this stuff, just make this sound really good on its own. And kind of lay out that foundation. Because now we have a lot more room to play around with like a cool synth lead. Or like different percussion and stuff, because we always know that this is working underneath it. So I'm gonna go and get. And I think the goal here would be maybe like find two that kind of complement each other. Like this one is in the mid-range, so now that's... Right, you hear that in the mid-range there. We're going to turn everything down a little as well. But then we could also get one... like that, which is more for the high end. And now if we take either one of these out, it's missing something. And that's the key. If you're going to layer these, just make sure you don't end up where, like, it's a bunch of layers that you can't even hear when you turn one on and off, right? Like, each thing needs to be doing something. Just because it's hard techno doesn't mean it should be, like, hard to hear your percussion. Like, you need to, just because it's hard techno doesn't mean you're gonna like over compress and saturate and have too many frequencies going on. It still needs to be clean. It's just like, what is the cleanest way of getting to that like big hard hitting track? Another thing I'd probably do at this point is turn the kick and bass up a little bit. I got a really good piece of advice from Klang one time. I'd sent him some tracks and he basically told me that the main thing that's going to make this techno, especially with like this harder, more ravey techno, is essentially like the kick and the bass are the loudest thing. And when you listen to like a big fat techno track that sounds like it's mixed really well, really notice a lot of times that's what it is. It's just that the kick and bass are like right on top of the mix like that. Like if I was mixing house, this would not work, but it works really well with this kind of a groove. And yeah, so now we have that. Then we can go, and I'd probably take like a little bit of effect and make like something kind of like this. Like, we'll take this one and just take that like beginning. And then this one. And basically we're just gonna make like little automate or little fades on those. And now we have like so now we have like our kind of like steady drums, but then we also have this thing underneath it, which is kind of just adding some flow there. And I usually put like a little bit of delay on that. And now again, it's like some drums that are constantly going, and then like other stuff like this effects loop, which is kind of slower and more spread out. So that sounds really good. Cool, and then I'll quickly show you how to make the lead as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get wavetable here. I've got a saw wave. We're going to set the amp envelope like that. And then we're going to use the noise. And that gives you that nice kind of like crunchier saw wave sort of unison sound. We'll give a little bit of drum bus to make it fatter. And then I'm going to pick the key of F minor. So now we're going to write like a simple lead. It's not really going to be too many notes. Like, that's really good, you know, and really, if you look at this here, we're only using 3 notes. It's just F, F sharp, and A sharp. It's just that we're using F across a few different octaves, you know, it's like, you could just have it go. But instead, we put that up 2 octaves, and now you get this. But it's still just those same amount of notes. It's still just 2 notes, but we're getting so much mileage out of that, and that's what you can do. And I think, like, a lot of times, like, literally just using less notes, but kind of spreading them out more, is going to sound a lot better. Right? Because now, like, when we come back over here, it's just a simple call and response. It's just go up here to F sharp, and then get back down to regular F by the end. You know, very simple. And then we can take that. Maybe put a bit of echo on it. And then the last thing I'll add under here is we're actually going to get another wavetable. And we're going to make a respace. Just a saw wave here. Bunch of unison. There we go. Set the amp envelope. Little bit of the filter like that. Some drive. And then we're just going to high pass it so that it doesn't get in the way of the low end. Add a little bit of auto pan as well, which is just making it bounce off of the kick. And then now, we can just write something in the key of F minor underneath this. And there we are, you know, you can see it's all going to come together. It's pretty simple stuff musically. I think what this style of music is, though, is it's a lot of simple things coming together to form one kind of complex, bigger picture. But as you can see, you know, if you just start with like solid kick, solid bass, all that kind of stuff, and move up from your foundation, it's going to come together pretty quickly and pretty smoothly. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. And let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get my new Ultimate Hard Techno Producer Bundle right at the top of the description. Again, this is a huge bundle with literally every single thing that you need to make a track in the style. Plus, you get the 3 demo track project files as well, which, if you want to hear those demo tracks, the link is at the top of the description there, right where the pack is. Yeah, thank you so much for the support, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this pack. You know, I just wanted to put together the most solid library that I could for the style. There's not really anything else like this on the market for this style specifically that puts it all together like this. So definitely go grab it, because it's also going to help support me a ton. You know, I don't make a whole lot just off of these videos or off of YouTube alone. But if you've been enjoying these videos and you've learned a lot, definitely go grab this, because you'll get an awesome project file and sample pack to work with. Plus, it's going to really help support me. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.